I'm not going to be sitting here all night with this video. Berlanga got outschooled, outclassed, dropped in round number 3 by Canelo. We're going to show you that brief highlight. I'm TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360. Within the next 10, 12 minutes or so, we're going to talk about the fight. What are they going to fuck now? Both fighters showing respect. Berlanga, to be very honest, he made it to the end. Wasn't gassed out. Conditioning is there, and he was taking a beating from Canelo. You know, arms, body shots. That was pretty much the key to Canelo. Let's see. They turned up the microphone. Oh, that's what it's about. They hugged it out. They hugged it out. So let's talk about it. Edgar Berlanga, 27-year-old, coming to the fight undefeated, had a very questionable career over the last 3 years. He started his career, what was it, 17-0 with 17 KOs. Then ran into a Damon Nicholson, went all 8 rounds. Then Corsaris, who fought Billy Joe Saunders, went the distance with Steve Rolls, and then he bit Romer Alexis Agulo, cannibalism, and pretty much, from my understanding, was fired from Top Rank. So he's been a matchroom fighter for the Jason Quigley and the Pedrock McCrory fight, and he got the Canelo sweepstakes. By the way, here's the attendance, 20,000 or so there in the T-Mobile Arena. So let me tell you this. There go Canelo's bald brother that Lara beat up. So let me say this before we listen to the post-fight interview and talk a little bit about the card, well, the fight. I am going to give this card a grade of a C, not a C minus, not a C plus, because a C plus will be, could it be a C plus? Because let me know your thoughts, or a B minus. Is it anywhere in the B territory? Because here's the thing. There were fights on here that were pretty much meaningless. Erislandy, Lara, Danny Garcia, an intriguing fight, stunk it up. Oh, I don't want to listen to these cards. Let's turn it up.
9, all 3 in favor of the winner. And still, unified super middleweight champion of the world, El Orgulloso Guerrero de Guadalajara, Saúl Canelo Alvarez.
The lineal super middleweight crown for Canelo Alvarez.
As we wait for the post-fight interview, here are the cards. 117, 110, and 118, 109 by 2 judges. Replay value is low, unless you want to see. Hold on, listen in.
This was an onslaught where you systematically and methodically were able to destroy him. From your vantage point, how would you assess your performance?
No, I did good. You know, now what they gonna say? I fight younger fighters? Before they say I fought older fighters. Now what they gonna say? He fought younger fighters? They always talk. I'm the best fighter in the world.
You had a conversation with Edgar for a minute or two, quite a long conversation. Can you tell us what was said?
No, he said he respect me. I'm his idol. And he respect me so much, and he feel bad the way he act, because he knows in that way. But you know, he did good.
You got angry during the fight, didn't you, with some of those tactics? You were angry.
You know, with adrenaline, I get a little angry. I'm Mexican, man.
And to do this on Mexican Independence Day, you've kind of established this as your day to fight. This in Cinco de Mayo, what does it mean to do this and to have this victory over a Puerto Rican fighter?
Means a lot. I feel great. I feel grateful. It's an honor for me to represent my country in this day, in those days. Mexican independence. I feel proud about it. I'm grateful with the people support me, and everybody. Some people say you don't love me, but guess what? You are here to support me. So, Viva Mexico, cabrón!
Viva Mexico! I decided to make some changes, by the way.
To manage to connect on 50% of your power punches.
My experience, my talent, my hard work, my intelligence, everything together. Because if you have a talent and you don't have discipline, you have nothing. If you have talent, if you have discipline and you don't have talent, you have nothing the same.
There you
So
go.
you need to combine both and hard work.
Did you think this fight would be over in the third round when you knocked him down?
Could be, but you know, Eddie is a time he slows me down every time I do that kind of things and fight smarter, and you know, works, and I did a great show for my people, and I feel grateful about it, and I feel good.
It's always inevitable that we look forward, so everybody's going to start looking forward to Cinco de Mayo. And what would you like to do?
I'm gonna rest, enjoy my family right now, and then I'm gonna decide.
All right. Congratulations. Please speak to the fans in Spanish, please.
Hey, gracias a todos por venir aquí, gracias por su apoyo.
Yay, Canelo.
Mucha gente dice que no podemos, pero somos los que más podemos, cabrones. ¡Viva México!
Viva Mexico.
Do you feel as though Las Vegas is your home as well?
It's my second home, but Las Vegas es la segunda casa también de todos los mexicanos. Aquí celebramos al 100%. El mundo es de los mexicanos porque estamos en todos lados. ¡Viva México! Berlanga.
Congratulations.
Síguele echando ganas, cabrón, Síguele echando ganas.
Please translate.
Lo hiciste bien. Hey, keep going. You're a great fighter. Keep going. Keep working. Keep busy in the boxing. Working, train, fight a lot, and you're gonna be champion. But keep focused, my friend. Huh?
Let's hear what Edgar the Cannibal has to say.
Thank you.
Edgar, you're a tough guy. Got your family in here. How would you assess your performance here? He systematically and methodically was able to take it to you. How do you feel you did?
You know, first and foremost, I want to give all glory to God, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ!
To be here. You know, I want to thank the fans that came out. Los mexicanos, los puertorriqueños, te amo mucho. Lo amo muchísimo. And we did a big performance, man. You know, I'm upset, because at the end of the day I'm a winner. But I fought a legend tonight, man, and hopefully this is the mark today of me becoming a future legend representing Puerto Rico.
How did you manage to keep coming back for more and seemingly at times even taunting Canelo after losing an exchange?
Because I was in the fight. We fighters, man, and fighters, we to throw each other off their game. I know that I was in there. I took his best shot, I believe, in the third round. I got dropped, came back, and that was the best he gave me. So I said, you know what, I can hold these punches, man, and return it.
What was your thought process in always going into the corner?
Just give more, a lot more jabs. I could have did a lot more, but I was in there with a legend, man. So my hats off go to him and the whole Mexico. I love Mexicans, man. That's like my second home. I got a lot of friends and family that live in Mexico, and I love my Mexican fans, man. They're everything to me,
Finally, from your perspective, what did you say to Canelo in this long conversation that you had?
Oh, man, I was telling him that he's my idol, and it sucks that before I even get to speak to him, usually fighters get to have an interaction before they fight, and it was just we got the fight and we signed the contract, but in that next exchange, I was just telling him that he's my idol, since I was a kid. I always looked up to him, and I felt kind of bad that, we had to give bad blood to each other for the first time meeting. Usually I like to, give thanks because I looked up to him, I watched him growing up, when I was an amateur, going into the pros, and I just want to thank him for the opportunity, He's at that level where he could pick and choose his fighters. He's a king, so he went and chose a Puerto Rican fighter. And I just want to give thanks to him for that, man. I humbly say that. Thank you, Team Canelo. Lo amo los mexicanos, que viva México y que viva Puerto Rico, puñeta. Lo amo los mexicanos mucho. And this is their weekend, so we got to give them thanks, because we're on their side, their territory. But I'm a fighter, I always say that. I got a little bit Mexican in my system, in my blood, man.
Me too.
Thank you very much. You're a tough guy with a big future. Appreciate it, Edgar.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you, guys. I want to thank my team, Team Berlanga. I want to thank Team Canelo, for giving us this opportunity, man, because
I was wondering where Eddie was. There you go.
he won't give just anybody the opportunity. You know, he gave me a young, strong fighter and a Puerto Rican, so I just want to say thank you to him for that.
Thank you. All right, Moro, back down to you.
All right, let's talk.
So for Canelo Alvarez.
Let's talk. So, let me say this. Berlanga was very basic. When you're watching him, it was like 1-2s. You didn't really sense that he was trying to like set something up. At least I didn't. It was just like, you know, he was looking, and I guess you can look at his resume and you can see like basically he was just knocking out, like he was a powerhouse. Just knocking out guys he was supposed to knock out. Then when he started stepping up, as you can see, he became a basic fighter. And somehow, off of this resume, and normally when you go into a Canelo fight, you know, fighters that, you know, Canelo fights, unless it's like a mandatory or if it's a like a title shot, normally the fighters that he fights, and Mayweather was similar at one point in time, you're usually coming off of some type of big high profile win or some type of momentum. But as you can see here, looking at this resume, his last fight was Padraig McCrory. Before that, Jason Quigley. Roman Gula, who he bit his last fight with Top Rank. So yeah, it's a blessing for him, and maybe this is one of those type of fights where he'll grow from. He's only 27 years old. He's entering his prime. You know, maybe he'll, you know, learn and be better, just like, you know, maybe Munguia will from his ass whooping. But let's be very honest. We can't give Canelo stripes for this win. No matter how you slice it, no matter how you praise Edgar Berlanga for, you know, him surviving, not getting knocked out, not having his will broken and quitting like Erislandy Lara made Danny Garcia do, or have the will broken out of him like Trevor McCumby got the will broken out of him by Caleb Plant. You know, he hung in there to the end, and he's got his little WBC medal. He was gifted a WBA mandatory shot against Canelo. And remember, Canelo has chased two fighters out of the division pretty much by they knowing they're not going to fight him, meaning David Morrell and David Benavidez. For whatever reasons, we know that Canelo didn't want to fight David Benavidez, but they're gone now, and now the division is looking pretty weak. So in reality, if Canelo does return, yeah, he is entertaining a fight with Conor McGregor, but I don't think that UFC is going to let that happen until Conor McGregor at least has one more fight in UFC. But let's be realistic. Terrence Crawford was in the crowd. You think that Canelo will consider it? You know, the money's there. And right now, who do you want to see Canelo fight? What other fight? Now, look at the 160-pounders. What fight, like any of them moving up? Ew. Would you entertain Lara? Canelo Lara too? Ew. 160 is just a wasteland, but when you look at 175, I don't think Canelo ever wants to go back up there. I don't think that he will fight Bivol, Bertrand winner. And remember, Bivol called his bluff and said, okay, I'll come down to 168, beat you there too. But realistically, who do I see? I see maybe Errol Spence. Maybe... And Errol Spence will probably have to beat Fundora. Terrence Crawford, of course. He could go try to fight the winner of Shishkin and William Skull. They're fighting in Germany for the IBF belt. But then again, he would have never vacated it. To be a two-time undisputed, collect his belt back. But I don't think he would do that. But realistically, Chris Eubank Jr., there you go. He was in talk with Chris Eubank Jr. before he fought Berlanga. So I think that's still a possibility. Canelo versus Eubank Jr. possibly in the UK. I can see that happening. In a stadium fight, I can see that happening. And if I'm correct, did Canelo fulfill his deal with PBC? It was 3 fights, right? Charlo, Munguia, Berlanga. He may stay, but from my understanding, that's pretty much it, isn't it? So if it's not Crawford, which I'm doubting it's going to be, then I can see it being Chris Eubank Jr. By the way, down below in the description box is a link to my other channel. TstreeT Uncut is where all of my streams are going to be. And sometime in the next few hours after UFC, I'm going to do a stream on the fight. Here is my Twitter, TstreeT Controversy. Right here, boom. And I am going to get over to UFC. But overall, the card, so Canelo Alvarez, dominating win over Edgar Berlanga, Erislandy Lara, made Danny Garcia quit. Caleb Plant showed he got the dog in him, put a beat down and stopped Trevor McCumby. After Trevor McCumby was pretty much manhandling him the first half of the fight, Trevor McCumby, he was exposed for not having an inside game. Caleb Plant was better there and beat him up and stopped him. Stephen Fulton, some are saying got a gift over Carlos Castro, but okay, I'm not calling it a robbery. And then Romero against Manuel Jaimes, the most clear win he's had since he's been mainstream. Well, since Anthony, can you dig it, yig it? And Roman Villa, as you can see, got stopped. So overall, what would you rate this card on a scale of 1 to 10? I would give it a 6.5. Because I wasn't bored until the Lara fight. It was exciting, but the fights really didn't mean anything. As I said, leading up, this was more smoke and mirrors with this card. It was like, oh, you got Fulton, Caleb Plant, Lara, and Danny Garcia, and Rolly, and Canelo all on the same card. But who were they fighting? As you can see, A sides versus like D, E sides. But, I was entertained, though, up until Lara versus Danny Garcia. So I would give it a 6.5, but I would say a C plus. I can say C plus. I don't want to see B minus. I don't see this being anywhere near a B card. I can't. B minus, no. C plus. High C plus. What's a high C plus? A B minus is, I forgot. What's a B minus? A B minus is like 79, right? Like on a scale of 1 to 100, or is it like a 80? I think a B minus is like a 79, and a C plus is like a 78. Like, so it's like real close. I'm gonna say a high C plus. That's how I feel. With that being said, take a time out, like the video, subscribe. I am TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360, and the links to my social media are right down below in the description box. And also, please, for my streams, this is my throwaway channel here. We can do anything goes. TstreeT Uncut. The links to all of my social media are down below in the description box. All you got to do is scroll down if you're on desktop or your tablet, or if you're on your phone, then it's going to say show more. And then boom, here, let me show you what a description box looks like, because sometimes you people, man. Oh, and also, I have an announcement to make. For the last several years now, I've been identifying as half black, half Irish, and half full-blooded Chicano. But I decided to make a change, and going forward, I would like to be, and respect my pronouns, I would like to be identified as Afro-Latino X. So that's it. So I identify as Afro-Latino. I'm still learning about my heritage. As you can see, I went to look some up. Afro-Latino Americans, or Black Latin Americans, sometimes Afro-Latinos, are Latin Americans of full or mainly sub-Saharan African ancestry. So I'm one of them. I'm Afro-Latino. Afro-Latino X. So anyway, with that being said, thanks for watching. Please subscribe.